Hey Brazil, this is Justin from the Vaccines and you're listening to 89 FM, a Radio Rock.
Fala galera, beleza? Eu sou o Wendell Correia e hoje eu vou conversar com o Justin, vocalista da banda The Vaccines, que vai lançar um novo álbum chamado Back in Love City, dia 10 de setembro. Vou trocar essa ideia com ele sobre esse novo álbum, falar um pouco sobre o Brasil também, ele adora a cidade de São Paulo, então vou trocar ideia também sobre essa cidade, a cidade onde está 89 a Rádio Rock, tudo isso com exclusividade para a Rádio Rock.
Hi, Justin.
Hello. Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, and you? How are you, man?
Yeah, good, thanks.
So, I want to start asking, how are you on this crazy couple of years we are living?
Hanging on in there, how are you?
I'm hanging on. It's near the end and the beginning, so we have to be optimistic about that.
Exactly. I'm not naturally an optimist, but I'm trying to remain optimistic.
And the songs of Vaccines, I've seen a lot on the histories on Instagram. Did it help to promote the band because of the name?
I think it's done the opposite probably, but I don't know. I hopefully will be around a lot longer than COVID Vaccines will be there.
And do you remember the day when you choose the name The Vaccines for the band?
I do actually. You know, it was in a Spanish a little orange Spanish dictionary that I still have in my house. And yeah, I remember we had to play a show and I was like flicking through this dictionary hoping to find a name for the band. So yeah, from a Spanish dictionary, I remember where I was and yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a good name. And now you are releasing the new album Back in Love City. How was the process of writing and recording this album?
I mean, really the whole thing was very liberating and very fun. We kind of wrote it over about a sort of 6-month period, like the second half of 2019, and then we recorded it just outside of El Paso in Texas on the Mexican border in December 2019 at Sonic Ranch, and it was just a very immersive, all-encompassing experience. Really, we didn't leave the studio for a few weeks, and we were free to experiment and to kind of live the record and have a lot of fun. And hopefully, sort of the record sounds like that. I think it's a product of its environment.
And you share a link on Google Earth about the album Back in Love City, and you talk about São Paulo for the song Wanderlust. I'm from São Paulo, born and raised. The radio is from São Paulo, so I want to talk to you a little bit about that.
I love São Paulo. It's one of my favorite places. I still remember, coming there for the first time on tour and just being blown away by, how amazing the people were and the place was. And I've been back on holiday since, and it's, we haven't toured up Brazil for a very long time actually, and we miss it greatly.
Yeah, you'll have to come back, man. And what do you most enjoy here in São Paulo?
I don't know. I think, certainly the people we've encountered had an amazing spirit. Everyone was very friendly. Everybody was up for a good time, and it just, I don't know, we were always made to feel very welcome, and it felt like, I don't know, like a very exciting place, at least, in our little bubble. Fun party. We had some fun. We've had some fun parties there as well.
Did you remember the neighborhood we stay?
Yeah. Well, hang on. I was talking to my friend about this literally a few days ago. The neighborhood we stayed in last time I was there was Jardins, maybe?
Jardins, yeah. It's near the city. Yeah, the radio station.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And you mentioned you also traveled alone in 2014 to write it for English graffiti. And what the thing that most inspired you here in São Paulo to write new songs?
I think being truly alone and being a stranger in a strange city and kind of not having any comfort, being very much out of my comfort zone. I traveled up to Trancoso in Bahia in the middle of the trip, and then came back down to São Paulo, and I DJ'd as well, and so I met lots of new people and hung out, made lots of new friends, and it was just I was very much alone, and I think that so I was able to focus on writing, but also was uncomfortable, which is always like a good position to put yourself in, I think, when you're trying to create.
That's nice, man. Why Wanderlust is the song that represents São Paulo on the album?
Actually, do you know what? It's not really. We just chose like a different song for every. We chose a different song for every city, but I love that song and I love that city. So there you go.
You chose the city after you wrote the songs, right?
Yeah.
And it's really nice what you shared on Google Earth, and you also say people became so dedicated that they forgot how to feel. And reminds me a little bit about Black Mirror, what is happening now. Do you think that is already happening with social media in some kinds of way?
Yeah, I mean, I think the reason why something like Black Mirror hits so hard is because it does kind of mirror society, doesn't it? And I think we do live in a world where technology is incredibly exciting, and it's and very liberating, and has connected us in a million different ways we could never have imagined. But it's done the complete opposite as well. And not just technology, you know, just even just the fact we're living in the middle of like a global pandemic. It's just, you know, it's every day is a pinch yourself moment, I think. And just when you think the world couldn't get any crazier, it does.
And you also mentioned that we are more connected than ever. I'm interviewing you through the internet. I'm in São Paulo. You are in another. Are you in London?
I know I am. I'm in London. I'm in my in my house in London.
And but we are more polarized, you say, and I agree with you. All over the world, this is happening, especially because of the politics. How much do you think music and arts helps people to keep going?
Well, I think it can be an incredibly a powerful statement if you want it to be. I think you can get involved in politics and social commentary if you want, and you can choose to make a difference and give people light and hope there. And if not, you can help people forget about all that stuff, and you can kind of connect despite people's differences and despite all this polarization. And so it can be an amazing, I don't know, tool. It can be a weapon and a tool to help you forget. So I don't know. I think on so many levels, music it's empowering, isn't it? And it can make you feel amazing when all hope is lost. So.
Really agree with that, and thank you for sharing music with us.
Oh.
And talking about the single you guys released, what means the lyrics of Headphones Baby?
I suppose Headphones Baby is about escapism, really. It's about, you know, this wanting love to feel hyperbolic and over the top and bombastic and you know, wanting to feel young forever and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, really just like putting on really in a literal sense, you know, putting on a pair of headphones and forgetting about the outside world.
And the visual also is the idea of the whole album. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. It's like an introduction to, you know, to Love City itself, the place, wherever that may be or whatever it may look like.
And it was really nice you guys share a link on SoundCloud with the influences for writing Headphones Baby. Was that the band you guys were listening when we were writing the songs?
Yeah, and actually we made a playlist for ourselves more than for other people, actually, for the whole album, for kind of Love City as a whole. I hopefully we'll share that in the next few weeks, and people can kind of get a sense of everything we were listening to when we were making the record. But yeah, that was the aim, to kind of contextualize for people where our heads were at, you know.
Do you have a favorite band, or it's a tough question?
No, I don't think I do have a favorite band, actually. No, I think I listen to too many things too often to really like hone in on one. You know, I'll definitely go through phases of really liking different bands and different artists. Who's your favorite?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I can see your Red Hot Chili Peppers merch in the background. Nice.
The guys changed my life, but of course I listen to other bands. Yeah. You opened for Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
Yeah, we did. We toured Europe with them.
That's when I met you guys. It's important they open up shows.
That was amazing.
Talking about Back in Love City, it's also the album title. Why did you guys choose this song for opening the album, and also for the name title?
Well, you know, I think that that title just sort of fell out of me one day when we were writing, and started to kind of think about what it may mean, and if there was some kind of deeper or bigger meaning behind it. And it started to act as quite a good kind of I suppose umbrella for some of the umbrella term or sense or feeling or whatever for some of the lyrical themes and even the kind of sonic palette, really. And every song we loved that we wrote seemed to kind of exist within this world of Love City, and it just kind of unlocked this whole other world for us. So I mean, honestly, the second we wrote that song, I think I knew that we wanted the album to be called Back in Love City. And
I really enjoyed the verse, I drink to drown my sorrows, but I always learn to swim, because sometimes we try to forget the problems, but they still exist, right?
I'm afraid so, my friend.
And on another verse that got my attention. What means the verse "We can't buy love because we spend it all on you"?
I'm not entirely sure. I feel like my understanding of that lyric changes every day, and every time I hear it, I kind of think it might mean it may mean something slightly different. I mean, it really did. That kind of line fell out quicker than I could write it or make sense of it. So to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not really sure I could give you my understanding changes every day of what that may mean. I suppose I'll leave that open to interpretation. It's probably the best thing to do.
That's good as well. And you guys wrote a lot of happy and sticky songs we keep singing, even after all longer the day. Is that something intentional or just happened?
Well, I think you're constantly sort of, taking influence from internal and external factors and all that sort of thing. And so I think to a degree, there's a police car going past my window. I think to a degree, things are, you're doing things consciously and in other ways subconsciously. But, all we're really ever trying to do is make music we love and make music we hope other people would love too. And I think that something happens when certain artists or bands, get in the room and they play together and write together. There's this sort of a sound that happens, I guess.
And talking about the inspiration for the album, I read a lot. You changed your house with a stranger in Los Angeles. That's right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you're not the first time I'd done that either, but certainly brought new meaning to kind of the themes that we were exploring when we were writing this record, definitely.
And also movies and city, you've got inspired by Blade Runner and Fear City from Cowboy Bebop. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. A lot of people have been picking that out. I mean, yeah, loosely. I was less specifically those movies and more the kind of places that they create. These kind of like fictional cities, I suppose. That was one of the angles we were going for when we were sort of thinking about Love City as a place, I guess.
Ever thought about making a movie with the idea you guys have for this album?
Yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. I'm not sure we'd be able to pull it off. Maybe you can make it for us.
Yeah, it would be nice. You should try it. Talk with Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you have a favorite track on this album?
Well, it's changing. It always changes, really. Always changes. I love Pink Water Pistols, which is the final song on the record. I love Paranormal Romance, People's Republic of Desire. There's a few on there that, when I hear, I get pretty excited about.
My favorite one is already Wanderlust because you mentioned São Paulo. And who made the art cover? It's a beautiful one.
Yeah, I can't even say his name. I can't even say his name correctly, but it's this amazing artist in LA. I think we shared some of his artwork a couple of days ago, but I'm not going to say his name out loud because I'm going to pronounce it wrong. But he's an amazing artist from LA whose work we'd seen on Instagram and loved. He helped. He sort of altered that image really for us, basically.
And you guys are going on tour, on a few months.
So we've announced some UK dates, but who knows when we'll be able to go further afield and see the world again. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Please come to Brazil again, man. Do you think the audience and concert will be different after all these things that is happening?
I mean, I hope. I mean, maybe to begin with, but I hope not in the long run. I hope everything will, go back to the way it was, the wonderful way it was.
Yeah, I miss it. Thanks so much, Justin.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Cheers, man. See you then.